Welcome. Come in, have a seat. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm creating a rainbow Christmas village. This year my husband and I are hosting Christmas, so I want our downstairs to be nice and festive and decorated, more so than usual. I tend to like a classic Christmas theme, reds, golds, greens, silvers, you get the gist. But this year, in both an endeavour to use materials I already have and bring back some childlike joy, I'm going for a bright, fun colour kind of theme. My vision is to have colourful paper chains strung up all over the ceiling, which I've made a couple of before I realised how much space they take up to store, and it's the very beginning of November. So I've started prepping the chains by cutting the strips and adding the tape, and bundling them in piles ready to assemble closer to Christmas because they just took up too much room. But today, our focus is the mini Christmas village. I love a little house, a little miniature, and I think these will look so cute arranged together. It's going to be a rainbow paper crafted Christmas village. I'm using a pre-existing SVG. That's the kind of file a cutting machine reads, an SVG. I don't actually know what it stands for. That was listed for free on a blog, and I've put the link down below. The file is 3 house designs. I have shrunk down the little houses so that they can all fit on one 12 by 12 inch paper square, because one, I only have 2 of each color of these, and I think that would just make it way easier to cut doing them all in one color. I'm using the Kmart cardstock. 1, it's a great price, and 2, the paper you use really does make a massive difference. For years I was using you just buy it from Officeworks, I think it's the Quill A4 card, and it's fine for crafts, but it will often separate down the middle, like delaminate itself when you're peeling it off the sticky mat, so it's not particularly great. Let's start with a color I'm not too mad if I don't have, so if it is too small I'm not wasting a piece of card on that. Let's do the light yellow. I haven't used either of these, and honestly I like the brighter yellow better, so if the light yellow doesn't work, we'll just do the proper one on the dark yellow. That actually worked out pretty darn well. I think these are a great size. Now I haven't made them up yet, but looking at it, they look good sized. Again, the debossing lines, I think I'm doing something wrong in the debossing. So you see how there is a dark line and a light line? I naively thought that I should be paying attention to the dark line when aligning them. But when you attach them all together, it moves down a bit to the right and down, and that seems like where it's lined up here. Now I think it's close enough that these will fold together fine. This is also what happened on my last video and why I gave up. I think I'm just doing the debossing incorrectly. That is such a clean cut. That's nice. This is why my craft room constantly needs vacuuming. It's just DIY confetti. Where is my bone folder? That is what they're called, by the way. That's not it. Oh, there. This, it's called a bone folder. I'm assuming there's some history to that, which I do not know. You can see it's worn down. This used to be perfectly curved. It's worn down from me using it. We're using double-sided tape again because I have yet to buy glue. Good thing a bone folder is for? Smushing down your double-sided tape as well, so when you peel it off, it just peels off the backing and not the tape off the paper. That's a design flaw. It covers up part of the window. Let's trim that down. That's frustrating. Okay, that works. So if you're using this, I also manually put in the scoring lines. It did not have them in the SVG file. If you trim the tabs down to 6mm, that will be fine, because I know this double-sided tape is 6mm wide, so if you don't want them blocking your windows, 6mm is a good number. Okay, so they do not line up, the roofs. I tried both of the smaller roofs. There's no way it's the bigger roof. It's too big and it has to fit on that one. But if you see, it only goes to there. And if I try and do it all the way, it bows out the sides of the houses. So I'm gonna have to adjust this. I think this is a good size, but I am going to go in and edit some of the pieces to make this work. Okay, we're going to make some edits. I have already put in these debossing lines, but we're going to move them so they align correctly. We are also going to resize the roof pieces, and just a personal preference, instead of these all being separate window pieces, I'm going to subtract them from the base piece. It's not going to change how it cuts at all, I just prefer to do this as I think it simplifies things. There's less pieces to manage and less chance to accidentally move the cutouts out of alignment with the big piece. To do that, you just combine and then subtract. For the debossing lines, there is a dark line and a light line. I was lining things up with the dark line. I think that's wrong. I think you need to line it up with the light line. Because the pieces shift when you attach them, it's already lined up for the black line, so I'm going to use the arrow keys to shift these a couple of millimeters and then attach. See how it moves like that? So the black line is now where the grey line was. I do not know why it does that. I do not know. I will do the same with all the other pieces now. I've already grouped the debossing lines for each house, so I can just shift them all over together. Let's click on one line so I can see that shadow line, then move it over so that lines up. There we go. Now that we know they work, we can start with colours that we actually like. Something went wrong. That means either my blade was not sharp enough or my paper was not stuck down enough, and I'm guessing it was my blade because that's not coming off easily. Oh well, 2 are still good. I think I'll just save those 2. I don't need to have the exact same of each colour. I only changed this blade a couple cuts ago. I will try, you can kind of semi-sharpen them using alfoil, which I'll show you in a second. I bought some new glue sticks today, which is great. I didn't buy, they had glue tape, but the only glue tape they had was $6. And that maybe wouldn't be a bad price if I had any faith at all that it would actually keep working. Every glue tape I have had, the actual mechanism has broken. I bought a Bostik one, it was a bit more expensive because I thought it will be cheaper in the long run because I can just buy the refills. No, because this mechanism broke as well. This one is a cheap one. I can't remember where from, maybe from Daiso. Again, broken. So, as much as I love them and they're great to use, I just can't find one that works for any length of time. If you have a recommendation of a good glue tape, please let me know. Unearthing a new mat. I've started buying just strong grip mats, using them as strong grip mats, and then when they get less sticky, using them as normal, and when they get less sticky, using them as light, instead of just buying the light sticky ones to start with. The problem is strong grip, they can be too strong grippy when you first get them and can just tear paper, so we'll see how it goes. My husband had a wonderful idea when I showed him the first half of the houses that I have assembled, and that is he bought me this mulberry paper the other day. It's kind of translucent, and putting that behind some of the windows to make it look more curtain-like. And so if I put torches or little candles inside it, fake candles obviously, these are paper, it diffuses the light nicer. I'm not sure it will be super easy to do on these ones that I've already folded up, so I will give it a go on my... Actually, let's use these cream ones, which I cut out first. I can try it on these ones and we can see what we think. Oh, I think that looks awesome. It kind of looks like a frosted window. Do not mind this big ass torch. This is our in case of a blackout torch. I think that looks wonderful. Better than that. Now I just need to add the mulberry paper to all the houses I assembled before I decided to add that bit, and we're done. I am so pleased with how these turned out. I'm still not entirely sure where I'm going to display them on the day because I don't have a mantle or any real surfaces in the living room that are decorative and not a table where food will be. But that's a problem for December, Acacia. Do you do colour themed decorations for Christmas? And if so, what colour are you doing this year? And what's your favourite Christmas decoration? Mine is definitely little houses, or maybe little houses inside glow, like light up snow globe lanterns. I had one of them, it was really cool, and then it broke, which is a shame. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, why not subscribe to see what other craft things I'll be making. Go and have a great day. See ya. I love you very, very much, but you're a very, very loud cat.